For starters, yes, I know that I said at the end of part 4 that this episode would be about plus and minus frames. However, in the interest of Street Fighter V's release on Tuesday and all of us wanting to learn how to play as new characters, I figured it would be better to explain some of the notations and abbreviations used by the community to explain how moves and combos are performed. So, without further ado, let's get to some notations. Just like the terminology of the last episode, the way that the fighting game community notates how moves and combos are done can be very confusing at first glance, especially thanks to the multiple ways moves can be described. First, let's talk about the 6 buttons that can be used for attacks. While many modern arcade fight sticks have 8 buttons, only 6 of them are needed in Street Fighter. Generally, these are referred to in one of 2 ways. One is to call them light punch, medium punch, heavy punch, light kick, medium kick, and heavy kick. Straightforward, understandable, and nowadays the most common way to refer to them. However, some players will, from time to time, refer to these buttons the way that they were labeled back on the Street Fighter II arcade cabinet in America. Jab, strong, fierce, short, forward, and roundhouse. For our purposes, we will go with the former labels. Now we can talk about directional input. Generally, these are referred to in terms of a circle, the full 360 degrees that your joystick can move. Note that in these notations, it is always assumed that you are in the first player position, starting on the left, facing towards the right. We'll start with a basic notation, that of Ryu's Hadoken Fireball. Normally, you'll see this move notated as quarter circle forward plus punch, meaning you move the joystick from a straight down position, 90 degrees to the right, then press punch. In shorthand, that's QCF plus P. When it comes to moves that take a 180 degree movement of the joystick, these are referred to as half circle moves. So, for example, Lore's Sunset Wheel is done by pressing forward, moving to straight down, then to away from your opponent, plus a kick button. This is notated as half circle back, or HCB plus K, as the move finishes with your joystick leading back. Throws such as this are also referred to as command throws, to differentiate them from a normal throw, done by just pressing light punch and light kick at the same time. But here's where things can get a bit tricky. Remember Ryu's Hadoken being QCF plus punch? You'll also often see this move notated as 236 plus punch. So where do these numbers come from? Take a look at the number pad on your computer's keyboard. See the layout of the numbers? Now imagine those same numbers are being used to describe points on a circle. Makes sense, doesn't it? When reading or writing annotations in this way, just make sure that you are remembering the layout of a keyboard number pad and not that of a telephone, which will just lead to confusion. When it comes to your normal attacks, you'll be dealing with 3 versions of them: standing versions, crouching versions, and jumping versions. We'll use M. Bison's heavy punch variations here. With jumping attacks, shorthand is always started with a J, so for example, J heavy punch. For standing attacks, you can have either an S, so S heavy punch, or 5 heavy punch, meaning your joystick is in a neutral position, or the center of the circle. For crouching attacks, you'll see the notations as C heavy punch or as 2 heavy punch. M. Bison's crush counter heavy punch, done by pressing down forward and heavy punch, can be notated as either DF heavy punch or as 3 heavy punch. After a while, it all starts to become a bit self-explanatory. There are 2 other common notations you'll see often that are worth note: DP and SPD. DP is short for Dragon Punch, the general English translation of Shoryuken, and stands for the input done for the move. Forward, down, down forward, plus a punch button. You'll also see it notated as 6, 2, 3 plus punch. SPD is short for Spinning Pile Driver, Zangief's staple command throw. The input for this move is a full 360-degree turn of the joystick plus a button, but to save confusion it is almost always notated simply as SPD, as are all 360-degree command throws across all characters that use them. Thus far in Street Fighter V, Zangief is the only character with such a move. So let's put this all together and look at an M Bison combo and write it out in full notation. Often, you'll see that the names of special moves are used during full combo notations rather than numerical inputs to avoid confusion, with the specific button used to activate the special move written before the special move, so heavy kick knee press, for example. In combo notations, a pair of X's are used to signify when a special move is cancelled into, meaning the input for the special move is done in such a way that the animation of the previous move is cancelled, automatically starting the special move. A comma is used to separate moves that are not cancelled into, and are often links. So that does it for a brief but I hope helpful look into notations in Street Fighter. And next time, I promise, we will get into plus and minus frames.